Welcome to College Game Day with Hick the Stick for week 9 of the college football season. Last week we had another shocking upset. Wisconsin lost to Illinois on a game-winning field goal. It's the second straight week that a top 10 undefeated team has lost to a non-ranked team. Well, let's look back. Wisconsin lost to Illinois last week and Georgia lost to South Carolina the week before. Which team in the top 10 has the best chance of losing to a non-ranked team this week? Well, Alabama's playing Arkansas, Clemson's playing Boston College, Oklahoma's playing Kansas State, and Penn State is playing Michigan State. You might be a little surprised, but I actually have one of those top 10 teams losing to a non-ranked team. Well, last week I went 15-5, making my total prediction to 115 to 29. I don't have that many games to pick this week, but I'm hoping to get them all right this week. Our first game, number 5, Oklahoma versus Kansas State. Oklahoma's offense is just too explosive for Kansas State. Kansas State is not a bad team, but they're not ready to stop this explosive offense. Oklahoma gets the win over Kansas State. Number 20, Iowa versus Northwestern. Iowa finally got a win last week. After losing 2 games straight, they finally got the win over Purdue. They're ready to play Northwestern this week. Iowa gets the win over Northwestern. Oklahoma State versus number 23, Iowa State. This game might come down at the very end. It might come down to who has the ball last or a couple of overtimes. But it's going to be a close game. But when it's all said and done, Iowa State gets the win over Oklahoma State and a close one. Maryland versus number 17, Minnesota. Minnesota is 7-0. They're in the Big Ten. They have a chance to make the college football playoffs. I mean, it's little, like a 1% chance. But it just keeps getting more challenging for Minnesota as the season continues for them as who the teams they have to play. But they get the win over Maryland this week and go 8-0. Our next game, number 6, Penn State versus Michigan State. Michigan State gets the upset over Penn State. Penn State almost lost to Michigan last week, but they didn't. They're going to come into this game against Michigan State, and Michigan State's going to beat Penn State and give them their first loss of the season, an upset. It's going to be the third straight week that a top 10 team loses to a non-ranked team. Michigan State gets the win. Our next game, Arkansas versus number 1, Alabama. Alabama lost their starting quarterback, Tua, but they got a good backup quarterback coming to play for them, and they're playing against Arkansas, and Arkansas is just not a good team this year. Alabama keeps on rolling and beats Arkansas. Our next game, Boston College versus number 4, Clemson. Clemson is undefeated. The Tigers beat Boston College. Number 24, Arizona State versus UCLA. UCLA is just not a good team. Let's just stop right there. The Sun Devils get the win over UCLA. Cal versus number 12, Utah. Utah beats Cal this week and gets the win and keeps herself in potential to win the Pac-12. Our next game, Washington State versus number 11, Oregon. Oregon only lost the season is to Auburn. They almost lost last week, but they came back and won. They're ready to play Washington State this week. The Oregon Ducks get the win over Washington State. Our next game, a top 25 matchup. Number 13, Wisconsin versus number 3, Ohio State. Wisconsin lost to Illinois. This was supposed to be a top 10 matchup of 2 undefeated teams, but it's not anymore. Wisconsin is mad, but they're going to Ohio, where Ohio State has a good offense, a good defense, a good special team. They're good all around. Ohio State is not going to let Wisconsin win this game in their own stadium. Ohio State gets the win over Wisconsin this week. It's going to be close, but Ohio State wins. Our game of the week, number 9, Auburn versus number 2, LSU. LSU is playing Auburn. They're not the same team they've been the last couple of years. Their offense can keep on scoring touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. And Auburn has only lost one game this year, but they haven't played an offense like LSU that's this good. And so LSU gets the win over Auburn this week and stays number 2 in the nation. Number 8, Notre Dame versus number 19, Michigan. Michigan just lost to Penn State. They now have 2 losses. Notre Dame has 1. They're coming to play Michigan. Michigan is at home this week. I want to call the upset, but I just can't. Notre Dame gets the win over Michigan, and a close one. Our Longhorn game of the week, number 15, Texas versus TCU. Texas defense is banged up. We got a lot of hurt players. They're really counting on their offense. I mean, the offense has to be on their game if they're going to beat TCU this week. And I think they will. So that's why Texas gets the win over TCU in a Big 12 matchup. Well, that's all I got here on College Game Day with Hick the Stick for Week 9. I'll see you Week 10 as we get closer and closer to the college football playoffs.